and go.
And I'm Lance, and we're the SAR guys. Today, what we want to do is introduce you to my wife, Kelly, which has been part of our SAR team for the last several years also. And so we want to talk about the differences of weight and what she carries in her pack versus what I carry in my pack. First of all, the obvious is here. We got to pull the elephant out of the room. Is I'm about twice the size, if not a little bit more, if you want to really do the figures, but than my wife. And so there's things that I carry that she doesn't, and vice versa. And there's things that she's able to carry that I can't. So first of all, Kelly, what is your goal with your pack?
So first of all, when I think about what I'm going to carry, I have to think about my weight. And so I'm only 110 pounds. And so if I'm carrying something heavier than 11 pounds, that's 11 pounds is 10% of my body weight. And so if I'm carrying 22 pounds, that's 20% of my body weight already. So if Lance were to be carrying 20% of his body pound, his pack would be 50 pounds. So he could carry a lot more.
We don't need to get too personal. This is about you, not me.
To be the same percentage. But the reason,
don't do the math on that.
The reason that comes into play is because our goal is to find a lost subject and help them out of the woods. If I'm already carrying 20% of my body weight, I don't have enough strength left to help them get out of the woods. And so generally, not only are we helping carry a subject out, a lot of times we're helping carry their equipment out. And so I have to have a lot of room left.
Paramedics gears and
paramedics gear. There are so many things we end up carrying back out of the woods.
Yep.
And so if I'm already maxed out, I am not very useful.
Yep.
And we do have quite a few people my size on our search and rescue team.
Absolutely.
And it's not that we're not capable. It's just we need to be more mindful of what we're carrying on our back so that we're not already maxed by the time we get to our subject.
Absolutely. And so, and we have several ladies that are smaller, but they're a backbone to our organization, and they do a great job and they work hard. So one of the obvious differences is not only the size of us, but is the differences in our pack. I chose to go with the High-Tech Odyssey 65, which I've kind of got it custom down to maybe a 30 liter pack. It's not fully 65 because I got it all sucked down. And my pack with nothing in it is probably about 4.5 pounds, if I remember the numbers right. Kelly has a different type of pack.
So my pack that I go with is the Marmot. It is the women's. It's built specifically for women's, the Graviton 36. The reason this bag is so important, and a lot of the ladies in our group have started to go with this one, is because the construction, it is so lightweight all on its own. It actually is, it does have lumbar, but it is aluminum, which is very lightweight. The material itself is super thin, very lightweight. I think my bag,
I think it's 2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds. So it already starts half the weight of most other packs.
And this, I was really surprised because it has the ripstop. Kelly will go through briars just like anybody else, or what's the other berry? Salmon berries. There you go. Go through all that, and she doesn't have any problems. And we've had this bag now for about 2 years, and she hasn't had a single mar to it. So it's been a great bag for her.
And it's specifically built for small women, and it's very adjustable for any size. Yep. And so that's why picking the right bag, if you're light, have a light bag to begin with.
All right. So let's talk about some of the similarities. Because there's obvious differences. First similarity, the things that we pack is we both have a first aid kit. She has her first aid kit. I have mine. You're going to notice that as we've talked about before, we like the modular system. So makes it a lot easier. So
I do have to have mine in waterproof. I put them in Ziploc bags because it's so lightweight, it is not a waterproof bag. Yeah. So that is my solution, is I keep everything in actual Ziploc bags.
Yeah, and mine are in Ziploc bags too. And this is supposed to be waterproof. You get these little bags on Amazon. They're not super cheap, but they're not. They do a decent job. So next is I have food in this pocket. Do you have food?
I
Do you
do.
carry any food?
I carry a lot less food. I require a lot less calories. I actually only keep one Cliff Bar, where he keeps, how many would that be?
Where's all your dehydrated stuff?
Well, this is for just snacking along the trail.
Ah,
I do have.
the truth is about to come out.
I carry in here breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
There you go.
But I
not the kitchen sink.
No, but and my pack's only 11 pounds, even with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I dehydrate my own meals. I do a lot of backpacking. One of the things our kids love is backpacking and stopping along the trail and cooking their own food. Yep. And so when you dehydrate your own food, it is extremely lightweight. So I do have breakfast, lunch, and dinner in there. So there's another cool thing about this bag is it opens completely up. So you can see everything that's in it.
Unlike mine's a top load, hers is it absolutely comes open. Mine, I can't see nothing down in there.
So this is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have smoked meatloaf and beans, and I've got mashed potatoes, and I've even got dehydrated coffee, and I dehydrated the coffee myself too. So that's my food.
A lot better than an MRE, I am going to tell you that. Do you have rain gear?
No, I do not carry rain gear.
Part of because my pack's 19 pounds without water, so part of that is my rain gear. And I always, typically I'll have the pants on-ish, but I don't wear the jacket until I really feel that I need the jacket. Where Kelly, she doesn't pack her rain gear.
Right, I always, I don't pack rain gear because if it's raining, I'm going to wear it before I go out there. I have never come into a situation where I thought, oh, I better add more clothes. I always make sure I have enough clothes on. So I wear merino wool underlayer, and then I have waterproof pants that are actually very lightweight. They're not like the Grundens. They're very lightweight, and the jacket. So I don't carry rain gear.
Yep, absolutely. And you do the layering system for you, just like Joe and I have talked about.
Yeah.
So, all right, what else do you have in there? You got batteries and your flashlights.
The only batteries I carry are the 3 batteries that I need for my headlamp.
All right, mine's a little bit different.
Because these are the rechargeable. They last forever, especially in my headlamp. And I actually won't carry these in it. I will put them in my headlamp before I hit the trail. But technically, I'm still carrying them, so they're part of my weight. Right. And so I have never had these run out. And so we recharge them every time we come back for a mission, and they're so efficient. So absolutely. I do not carry extra batteries.
I do. How many flashlights do you carry?
Just one.
Just one, not counting your headlamp.
Correct. I have my headlamp, and then I carry one flashlight.
And that's where this is one, we go back and forth on this. I want light. Maybe I'm scared of the dark. I don't know. But I carry 2 flashlights. So I got one in my flashlight bag, and then I got one on this, that it's usually on the exterior pocket. And so I always carry, and then I have extra batteries just like you. My headlamp batteries is in my headlamp bag. So that's a little bit different, but I carry extra flashlights. We've been out there where other people have needed extra flashlights. So there again, I can carry more. And so I choose to do that.
Mm-hmm. When I was young, we did a ton of camping in the woods, and we would never bring a single thing with us. My dad taught us how to pick the skunk cabbage and make a bed out of it, and we would even use that as a blanket, the skunk cabbage. And I've never once used a light at night camping. And so when I think of survival overnight, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm so glad I have my flashlight.
We're not doing survival. We're out there on a mission. So
so I do not care about an extra light.
What is that?
Okay, so this
seems like just silliness to me.
Yes. So this is very necessary for me. So if you're my size, you don't have a lot of extra insulation. So if
nice choice of words.
If I were to spend the night in the woods, this is totally a luxury item. I could survive without it, but what it is it is a puffy blanket. It doubles as a pillow, right? You could use it as a pillow, and it actually it's extremely lightweight, but it is very warm and comfortable, and you can even button the edges up and it can become a sleeping bag. It would fit me as a sleeping bag. Others, it might not. But if you have to hunker down inside of one of those little tiny space blanket tents,
Yeah.
this will make you a lot more comfortable.
And again, this is polyester. It's not down.
Mm-hmm.
So the water, it's going to repel water better and keep the heat. And so
very lightweight. So
I'm not going to have that. Evidently, I have enough insulation that I'll warm a whole forest. So you have cooking gear.
I do.
I have cooking gear. It's the same there. Our cooking gear is very, very similar. You guys have seen that.
The one thing I do not carry in my cooking gear, I don't carry flint. I don't carry those types of things. I'm not good at using them, and I found that
the magnesium rod.
Magnesium
it's
rod.
not flint and steel. I said that wrong once. So
I only carry a lighter, and the stormproof matches are actually the only ones I use. I've never had them.
Yeah.
So I don't carry extra weight with
absolutely
those things.
And you have your final ditch bag. You do yours a little bit different than I do. Hers is actually pieces of different ones.
Yeah.
I consolidate mine into one.
I don't have a final ditch bag. I would just use this stuff.
And realistically, in that final ditch bag, I have some redundancy that doesn't necessarily need to be there, but I choose for it to be there. So what else you got?
Okay, so I have our water purification, and it's very lightweight. All I have is it's a inline filter that hooks onto my bladder, and we have a quick disconnect already attached to our water bladder, so the water purification just goes in line.
So the Sawyer water purification kit is what you use.
Yep. And then I've got chem sticks and a glow stick that can hook to the top of your helmet.
All right. And I do have those too. They're on this side, my chem sticks and that. So what is that?
Last thing is just dry socks, 2 pairs of dry socks.
I got that. Oh, nope. I got one.
2 pairs of dry socks, and then I have a neck gaiter, and then a helmet liner.
Yeah.
And I always will wear a stocking hat because I'm always cold. And if I get too hot, then that helmet liner would replace that.
All right. I got socks. I got underwear. What do you got?
I actually have a full set of clothes. And so if my merino wool underlayer gets wet or something, I can replace that. I have pants, shirt, and then mittens. So my fingers do get very cold. And so I keep these in here because our gloves are always wet if we're hiking. But if we had to spend the night, I would have dry gloves to stick on my hands and dry clothes to sleep in.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Garbage bag.
Yeah, and I think we both have some miscellaneous stuff throughout our bag, but for the majority of it, that's what we carry, and that's kind of the similarities and some of the differences of that.
What I don't have is I don't hook carabiners on like he's got, because those add weight. I only carry one knife. I don't carry a machete.
Yeah.
I don't carry a saw. If we're going to a place where we know we're going to have to cut a trail, then I will ask Command to give me one, and then I will use it that way.
Yeah. But it's not necessarily needed for every mission.
And I don't put trekking poles on. They're extra weight, and I don't use them.
Yep. So that's about all that we have, and I do encourage you to put some comments in there. Ask some questions, and we'll get Kelly to respond to those questions if you have something specific about women. But it's a good idea to think about the percentages. Once we were talking about it last night, if she overloads in her pack, then that's less than she's able to carry out on the mission. Not that she's not capable, but it's adding more strain to her. And again, this isn't survival. We say this a lot, but this is search and rescue. And so we're a team. And as a team, we all come together and do our part for the better part of the mission to get the mission done. And so Kelly and the other ladies that are on our team, or other smaller people that are on our team, do a wonderful job in supporting that. Just because I'm a bigger guy doesn't mean I work harder, because these team members are working just as hard as I am. And so we're very, very thankful for them. So that's all we got. I hope we see you out on the trail.